What up, lovely folks? Scott the Life Artist back with another video. How are we? What did I want to discuss today? Man, I wanted to talk about humility and the undergrowth of humanity, and that we all have an underbelly, an undercarriage in our psyche, meaning we all have an inner plumber, an inner postman, inner hobo, and that we often attempt to climb a hierarchy which is delusional and illusional, in the belief that when we get a certain status, we're going to thrive and become more. And that's absolutely fine, but what I've realized is that that will take you away from your humility. And when you start to think you're bigger than the game that you're created, then you start to run into roadblocks. You start to run into mischief, you start to get into trouble. Because we're neither here nor there, we're neither better or worse than anyone else, or any aspect of creation. The flowers, the hobo, the big winner, laundryman, dishwasher, you know, sound like a right posh, Well, I am from the Royal County, so fair enough. But we didn't grow up rich, I'll tell you that. Anyway, that's what I have found that helps me, is having some humility about you, bro, and letting yourself be humiliated. Like, you gotta ask yourself questions like, why do I believe I'm better? Like, for me, for many years, because I grew older, I became like an ageist, where I realized, like, society, man, Western society, and probably the whole world now is ageist, right? We're a big ageist collective, meaning we disdain being old. Old is old, young is young, and if you're a certain age or you look a certain way, then you're less. That's the facts of the community. But in my heart, I know that that is not really the truth, because old people can rock, and you can be old whenever you want. I love being old, but I love being young, to be somewhere in between, because there's wisdom, but there's also youthful exuberance. But you got to look at these things. Where do I have these peg holes? Where do I have these positions where I believe it makes me something? Where do you become presumptuous? Where do you become prestigious in the wrong way, with a bunch of nonsense, thinking you're somebody, right? I've got a Saab car in my driveway, a 70 detached house, I'm somebody. Better, from my perspective, to be all and nothing, because God is nobody. God is a nobody. You'll never find God anywhere. The secret source, you'll never find source anywhere. And yet God is in all things, is prevalent in all things. So equality, humility will bring you there. Being a nobody will bring you there, will bring you to the idea of all that is that you are. Because all that is the acceptance that you are everything. Now, not in relative preference, but in choice and potential. You're creating it with your energy. It's coming from the inside out. So of course you're going to be the all, right? You're going to be all. But when you accept that you're the all, you can't deny that everything is you, thus everything is equal. It's made from the fabric of God, the God that you are. And that's a big change, man. You go through that change, you'll start to find God in the everyday, right? And you're still allowed to play in polarity. You can still have cockiness, maybe a little bit of arrogance here and there. Disarm yourself with some self-degradation, 100%. Humiliate yourself, be shameless, and then be uppity. You're going to experience the polarity swings, but they're much more smoother and they're more harmonized, because ultimately you know that neutral point, that neutral perspective, which is love in a way, feels good, where it's just all that is, but it doesn't really matter. Nothing really matters. And so humility will take you there, man. And from my perspective, if you really want to know God, because we came here to be human, right? I assume most of you came here to full destination, play out being human. And that what it requires to be human is to be connected to other humans. And that when you have what I call the cleavage, when you have the family, the love, you have a good heart, a good breast, that you basically no longer become scared of strangers. If you're always walking around trying to get better so you can defeat something, then, or maybe get revenge against, then you're always going to be treading on people that you believe have no value to your mission. Again, there's nothing wrong with having a mission, but you gotta watch for that masculine trait of, I don't have enough now and I need more power, and if you're not gonna give me that power in terms of status or idealism, if I can't get something from you, I don't wanna know, right? Because you will miss, man, so many opportunities. Like for me now, if I go to a coffee shop, I'm going there to meet a woman, just barista, to have a chit chat, maybe a flirt, but not really like Merry Christmas, whatever. A receptionist, friends, homeless people. I know a guy called Jason, he's a great homeless guy. He's fucking awesome, man. But I love these interactions. I love these interactions because that's what my life is. My life is friends, it's family. And when you have that equality, you start to encompass more of a communal feel in your heart. The age of Aquarius, right? Realizing with one spiritual community. When you start to embody that, life becomes a lot more fun. You stop being so scared, right? And tense. And again, nothing wrong with a bit of tension. I like probably more tension than most in my life. But you release the tension of, I need it to happen now, impatience, anger, frustration, because when you get those things, bruh, I ain't gonna do it for you, man. It ain't gonna do it for you. You may believe you get the girl or the woman, or it's like my apartment is lovely. I couldn't have asked for anything more, right? Dreamed of anything more, really. Apart from a big palace or something. But man, when I got here, you experience it. It's like, man, okay, what do I do now, right? Because it's an inside out job, not an outside in. And you're still allowed to dream and have these things and have a certain favorable preference. But you gotta realize, man, I'm speaking to myself, ladies and gentlemen, you have to realize that you gotta love yourself, man. And realize it's about you, it's about the journey, it's about the game. You'll never I don't think you're ever going to really know true community and true intimacy unless you can let that go and be more in the heart, right? For all the men out there, be a bit more feminine, open up your heart, open up your feelings. And to the women as well, where we're born into this extravagant world of extreme ambition. I get it. You guys have got amazing opportunities and you should take the reins, but learn from men what's not worked along the way in terms of communing or lack of communion and too much ambition, right? Because too much ambition will turn to vengeance, it will turn to destruction, terrible violence, terrible things. And also it's just getting involved in the party, man. Especially when you're 20s, 30s, 40s, especially 20s. It's the idea of proving yourself and I need to win. It's fine to have a bit of that. Too much of it, though, will destroy you. It will destroy you. And you'll be left homeless, no friends, no family. And I mean homeless in the sense, not out you're on a bench, but you can no longer call any place, location, friend, or family member home. You'll feel alone, you'll be alone, right? And you might say, Scott, I want to go to the moon, man. I want to go to this country. I want to meet these people, meet these aliens. I want to go here. I want to travel. I want to go out. I want to be like Elon Musk, who I love, by the way. I think he's fucking awesome. I think he just likes creating rockets, but I want to go on Elon Musk's fucking shuttle and go to the moon. Well, guess what, bro, man? You're going to spend 5 minutes with those damn aliens and you'll be like this, oh, I'm bored now. I need to see the next aliens, the super aliens. It will never end. So why not get familiar with the aliens around you now, bro? They're freaking human beings. The ones that you live next door to. Your clients, the ones you speak to at the spa, the ones you speak to at the gym. Get to know them. Psychically get to know them. Get to feel them. Feel that telepathy that Bashar speaks about. for telepathy is more heart-based than mental. Get to know your world. And trust me, man, you have a much better time of it, bro. Much better time. Much better time. Because you'll start to feel like a kid, like I've been feeling. You'll feel much more like a child, in a sense, the wonder, that exuberant wonder of knowing you're safe and protected, if you want to use those terms, safe and protected by your family members, because you will feel more in communion with the spirit of earth, with human. And that's a rock and roll place to be, man. And you know, you see a freaking engineer, technician, a plumber, a postman, a hobo. And I like the term hobo because I feel like I'm down with them, man. I'm down with the streets. Some of them are freaking happier than any of us who happen to have a house. So speak to them, man. But you'll get down with the barista. You'll get down with just random interactions, and your day will become more feisty. And I also recommend developing a sense of self-degradation, self-mocking. Make fun of yourself. Make fun of your personality, your damn ego. And recognize traits that are in others, that are in yourself. And you become more forgiving of yourself and then thus others, and you have a way better time, man. Because I can tell you this, man. Doesn't matter who you are, what age you are, what race, it doesn't matter. People want real. Because if you don't have real, man, you will start to feel it. You will start to suffer after a while. I will know, you will feel starved of reality, right? So learn to freaking speak from here. And have a bit of a steely jaw like me. Speak truth. Have a bit of gumption. Like Mr. Long speaks, and you'd be Alicia Long, Aliyah Long. Definitely not Alicia. That's a female name, but this guy speaks about having gumption. And I would say, have some guts. Have some rock and roll. Be yourself, right? Ask people how they are. How you doing today, man? Pick up on their energy. Read their energy. Become receptive. Instead of needing to talk about yourself, I mean, good Lord. Better be fun. Better be fun if you start speaking about yourself. Or wanting to date a dig and just look for knowledge so you can get through the elevator ride without really knowing who they are. Get in with people. Start checking in on yourself and your feelings, and then you'll have a much better time. But again, going back to the first point, being humble will get you there. And by the way, being humble is nothing to do with being small and meek. Meek, yeah, but not small and, you know, I only grow potatoes on a Wednesday and eat alone in the dark. I'm not speaking about that. I'm not speaking about that. I just put some potatoes on, that's why. I'm not speaking about that. I'm talking about being yourself. Because when you be your naked self, exuberant self, extravagant self, you invite others to be yourself. But when you put on the mask of mediocrity, because you need to compare and you must win because that's your ego's old game, then you're always going to be either better or worse. And when you meet people like me, you'll feel awkward. Like I remember my old, I wouldn't even call him mate, but uni bud, Ben, man. Ben's listening to this video. Shout out Ben, man. Forgot your last name. He used to wear these grand jumpers, man. And I'll tell you, man, my head was big back then. Had a little bit of an enlightenment, awakening process. I thought I was. Now I know I am. But but he was really cool, man. And he had more humility than me. He was more chilled out. He was more just humble. And I remember my ego did not know how to work out how to be around him, because he didn't really do fake. And so I felt uneasy, but I felt in awe. I think a lot of people in the class really circled around him because he had a good energy. He was just a very chilled out dude. Again, Ben, mate, reach out, do something. Oh, it's good to play the game, man. It's good to play the game. But yeah. And that reveals, man. When I reflected back and when I observe people now who are around me, real reveals. And people who are more plastic or fake can't be around you, bro. And thank God. So don't be afraid to be the grandness that you are, because it's seamless, it's nothing, it's transparent, it's just you. Big, bold nature, but you are. But recognize when you become more humble, you're going to see people who struggle to be that way and are always trying to win. And I'm still struggling, but I'm letting go of that struggle because, man, ain't good, bro. Ain't good. So Ben, sorry for the awkwardness, mate. Much love. You're a little bit of a inspiration back in the day, man. But anyway, God bless us all. Stay humble, be you. And find out what's there for you, man. Find out what's there. And other people, I'd say other people, man. That's where the joy lies if you're another human being. All right, peace out. Bye-bye.